Greetings, programs. This is Wretch. Welcome back to Lamplight City. And we've exhausted all of our other options in regards to the murder of Ronan Lespay, guys. It seems that all roads are leading to this drain cover, which we cannot get open. So we need to find some sort of special tool to let us get in there. Now, looking at our options here, I don't think we'd find anything in the opium den. The Presser residence, no. Ned's residence, probably not, unless we could use Ned's strength to open it up. Water treatment station. You know, let's go ahead and have a chat with Cormac, because he would probably have the tools needed to open that grating up. I mean, we already talked to him and he didn't say anything, but...
Moment of your time, if I may.
Right, we'll make it quick.
Oh, there it is!
Would you be able to remove the cover of a storm drain?
Yes, of course, sir. Cormac's got the right tool for the job. Just a few twists from old Mary here, and any drain will open up like a Christmas rose.
Excellent. Would you be able to open the storm drain outside the Silent Raven?
Suppose so, yes. But Cormac ain't allowed to just open up drains as he sees fit. What do you want this drain open for?
Yeah, let's go ahead and let him know.
I believe there's a vital piece of evidence at the bottom of the drain.
You don't say.
It's quite true. It may even help me solve a murder.
Well then, in that case, Cormac will get the drain open for you. Come on, there's not a moment to lose.
Aw, good guy Cormac.
This it then?
That's the one.
Right, won't be a moment.
Hail Mary.
There we are.
Thank you for your help, Cormac.
Not a problem. Now, if you don't mind, Cormac's just going to pop inside for a quick pint.
Priorities. Well, here we go.
Detective work is a dirty job, but someone has to do it. Don't forget to roll up your sleeve.
I really hope there's something down there.
Hello, Georgie.
Ugh. This is almost as bad as the time I had to search for that stolen necklace in a pile of horse manure.
I'm really glad I didn't draw the short straw in that case.
There you are.
Well, how about that?
Wish the police had found this so I wouldn't have to carry it around.
Anything else in there?
Nothing else down there but dirty water.
Good deal. Alright, I guess talking to Cormac didn't trigger until we looked at the screws. And it said that we needed a special tool, so I guess that makes sense. Should we go have a chat with Cormac again? Oh, look at him.
Let's not stick around here if there's nothing more to ask about right now.
Okay. We'll leave him to his pint. Let's head back to Edwards, because this is most definitely the gun in question. Just walking through a police station with a firearm. Nothing to see here, folks.
Pardon me, Edwards.
Yes?
I found this pistol at the scene of the Lespay crime. Did you take a look and see if it was used to murder him?
It's all slimy. Where was it?
Sitting at the bottom of a storm drain.
Oh, I suppose that's not as exciting as finding it inside someone's intestines. Did I ever tell you about that post-mortem, by the way?
No, I certainly don't want to hear about it now.
I do.
How long will it take you to analyze that pistol?
I should have something conclusive within the hour, if you don't mind waiting.
No, it'll give me some time to gather my thoughts.
Right, I've concluded my analysis, and this gun was definitely used to shoot Mr. Lespay. The bullet I removed from his body is a perfect match.
Thank you, Edwards. That is extremely helpful.
There's one more thing. I cleaned off some of the muck and found the initials JB etched into the handle.
Interesting.
My expertise with guns is purely forensic, so I can't determine if this is the gun's maker or the initials of its owner. That's going to have to be your job.
Thank you, Edwards. Help is always appreciated.
JB, huh?
JB. Wasn't the name on Puffin's gun case Jenkins and Bowen? That's quite a coincidence, wouldn't you say?
I'll be going now, Edwards.
Take care, Fordham.
Miles, have you ever noticed that this Jimbo fellow fits the description of the man loitering outside the taxidermy shop? The barmaid told us she saw someone matching that description at the Raven on election night. Not only that, Priscilla just so happens to be the name of the ship Jimbo works on. And the pistol used to murder Ronan has the initials JB etched on it. It could be a coincidence, but I think it's quite reasonable to consider him as a suspect.
That was random.
Things are starting to fall into place here, Miles. Between the letters, the missing gun, and what Edwards told us about the effects of opium, I think we have enough evidence to consider Puffin a suspect.
Okay. Were those pretty much our options? Let's see here. Let's talk to Upton, actually. Go over the case with her.
Keep up the good work, Upton. I might have some more questions later.
Never mind.
I have no doubt you will.
I think that may be everything. Return to Mrs. Morgan and accuse Jimbo. Return to Mrs. Morgan and accuse Tom Puffin. Out of those two options, I would go with Puffin. Absolutely. Because it all seems to fit. Considering Ned and Lespay's kind of resemblance to each other, the opium, the jealousy about Ned's fiancée, I think everything fits there. The thing with Jimbo, no, I don't think that's the case. Has to be Puffin. So let's call our shot.
Have you got time for a few more questions, Mrs. Morgan?
Yes, of course.
Wait a minute. Wait.
Those are all the questions I have for now.
All right, Mr. Fordham.
What about, before we talk to her, let's head back to the jail and see if we can have a chat with our redheaded friend.
No point asking him about anything else right now. Let him sit and rot.
Okay, never mind then. Let's wrap this up.
Have you got time for a few more questions, Mrs. Morgan?
Yes, of course.
I've completed my investigation of your brother's murder, Mrs. Morgan.
You have? Oh, that's such a relief to hear. Who killed him?
James Jimbo. Tom Puffin.
It was Tom Puffin, choir master at St. Denis Cathedral.
What? But why would a member of the church do something like that?
Puffin is in love with his nephew Ned's fiancée, Priscilla. He's even gone so far as to intercept their letters and write to each of them under false pretenses. Mr. Puffin is also an avid opium user and is prone to fits of rage as well as hallucinations. The evening of the murder, Puffin was at the Silent Raven, and in his opium-induced fog mistook your brother for Ned. He had his pistol on him, and his rage and jealousy got the better of him. Poor Ronan was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time.
And what about the clothes he was wearing? Or why he was in Chumley in the first place?
I'm afraid your brother fell victim to a cooping gang. They dragged him to Chumley and forced him to vote multiple times. He was wearing someone else's clothes as part of a disguise.
My poor brother. So what happens now?
Now, I'll inform Miss Upton of my findings, and she'll send an officer along to arrest Puffin. From there, justice will be served accordingly.
I see. Thank you for your help, Mr. Fordham.
Mistaken identity.
Tom Puffin?
Yes, may I help you, officer?
You're under arrest for the murder of Ronan Lespay.
What? Oh, God. So it wasn't a dream.
Come along, sir. We need to question you at the station.
Well, that's damning. Oh,
You know, Miles,
so is
you've been
this.
coming in here a lot lately, but you've never looked quite this glum. What's going on?
I've bungled things pretty badly at home. Been staying with a friend the past couple of weeks.
I see. What happened?
I haven't been honest with my wife. Coming here and drowning my sorrows hasn't really helped, oddly enough. And yet, it's all I can do to keep from going crazy.
You know, Miles, I've seen and heard a lot of things over the years. Some of the stories would turn your hair white. But through it all, I've come to learn one thing. It's usually not too late to make things better, but only if you let yourself try.
Thank you for the advice, Patrick.
All I can do is give it, Miles. Whether you choose to take it or not is entirely up to you. Now, would you like another gin?
No, thank you. This time I really do need to be on my way.
Good guy, Patrick. Go back to Upton's. Visit Adelaide. Yeah, absolutely.
I should go and see how my wife is doing.
I see. Well, have a good night, Miles. And good luck to you.
Who in the ether?
I'm not drunk. Please tell me I'm not drunk.
Miles? This is a surprise.
I've decided to forgive you? Good Lord.
Adhi, it's so good to see you. I've been such an idiot lately.
Well, I'm glad you can admit to it. Would you like to come in?
Very much.
Was there something you wanted to talk about?
Do we need to go ahead and tell her the truth? I mean, oh, wait a minute. He's asleep, isn't he?
I've given it a lot of thought, and I think it's time I finally told you the truth.
Miles, what are you doing? You know this is a terrible idea.
The truth?
About why I've been acting the way I have been, since Bill died.
Well, go on. I'm listening.
Don't do it, Miles. You know it's a one-way ticket to Riverview if you do.
Okay. This is probably a bad idea. Oh well.
I've been hearing Bill's voice ever since he died.
Fordham, what is wrong with you?
His voice?
I can't believe this! You've just destroyed your life! I hope you realize that!
Yes. In my head, at all hours. That's why I was taking the soporific. It was the only way to keep him quiet. Or so I thought. Turns out that alcohol has the same effect.
What does he say to you?
The type of things he'd say when he was alive. Snarky comments, inappropriate jokes. Mainly he nags me to find the flower shop burglar. He thinks doing that will let him find peace and move on.
I see.
I told you you'd think I was crazy.
Don't be ridiculous, Miles. It's nothing like that. It's just, I wish you had told me sooner is all.
I know, but I was afraid.
Well, I'm glad you finally trusted me. You know, you could have all along.
So, you're all right with it?
It is quite a lot to take in. I think I'll need some time to mull it over. But what matters now is that we can work through this together.
Aw.
I understand. Well, I should probably go. It was lovely to see you again, Adhi.
Lovely to see you too, Miles.
Perhaps I'll stop by again next week?
Or sooner, if you'd like.
Sure. Like the men in white coats aren't gonna have you taken away by then.
Right. I'll see myself out then.
Good night, Miles.
I don't know. I'm gonna go to the asylum, aren't I? Model husband. Achievement unlocked. It's a nice achievement.
Fordham, wake up.
He just leapt over the side. Oh, Upton. What's going on?
Goodness, Fordham. You look terrible. Is everything all right?
Just had some trouble sleeping. More than usual.
Well, I hope you've rested enough, because I've got something very important to show you.
Oh, wonderful. If we're sharing information now, are you gonna tell Upton about me as well?
Oh. Bill is salty.
What is it?
There's been a murder.
I assume this one is special somehow, or you wouldn't be bringing it to me.
I thought that great detectives never assumed.
There are exceptions to every rule.
Anyway, you're right. The victim in question is a member of Parliament, a man named Percival McDonough, to be precise. But this is the real corker. The murder is clearly the work of the Justice Killer.
Ooh.
The Justice Killer. Is that the mass murderer I've been hearing about?
The very same.
Why Justice Killer, though?
It's part of his modus operandi. He kills his victims with a single gunshot to the head, then writes the word justice somewhere in the room with the victim's blood.
Talk about melodramatic.
The police are stumped. This is the killer's 5th victim, and there isn't a single lead.
So you want me to investigate?
Not just yet. First, I need you to look at these sketches.
You took crime scene sketches from the department?
Of course not. I made copies with the station's Pharaoh duplicator. These killings need to stop, and I believe you can succeed where the department has so far failed.
So, what am I looking for?
The police went over each crime scene with a fine-toothed comb and turned up practically no useful physical evidence. I want a second opinion from you. If you can find some sort of link between them, it might be possible to track this monster down.
All right, let's see what we can see. Maybe there's something that Snelling's finest overlooked.
Let's look at our contestants.
Here are the 4 sketches. Have a look at them and see if you notice anything that might help us find this maniac.
All right, let's look at sketch number 1.
Whoever drew this was a hack. That looks more like a piece of toast than a flower. If only you hadn't told Adelaide about me, I might share my thoughts with you. As it is, you're on your own.
Oh, is that what's happening? Okay.
What's the point? It's not like you're actually going to be able to investigate this case.
Now you're just going to be that guy, aren't you?
Oh, were you hoping for some witty insight? Shame, because you're not getting any.
So I think we're seeing a link.
I'm sure this is terribly relevant, but I've got nothing to say about it.
Legs crossed.
I don't feel like looking at dead bodies right now. Is there something more exciting we could be doing?
Wait a minute, let's look at that other one. Is the body the exact same way? No.
I'm really not in the mood to be analyzing crime scene sketches right now. Yeah, he's dead. Big deal. Boring.
Oh my god.
Boring, just like everything else in this sketch.
Interesting.
Oh, what? You actually found something without my help? I'm shocked.
It's gonna turn adversarial real quick.
Wait, what's that? I see an important clue. Just kidding. Maybe you should write crazy over your bed.
Upton?
What is it, Fordham?
About those crime scene sketches.
Yes?
I think I found a connection.
I knew you would. What is it?
There's a single flower at each crime scene. They look deliberately placed.
There is? Let me have a look. You're right. 1 lily at each scene.
Wait, what did you say?
These flowers, they're lilies. Easter lilies, I think.
I don't believe it!
Upton, this is incredible. This is the lead I've been searching for.
What? You mean for another case?
The flower shop burglar. He was stealing Easter lilies. And I distinctly remember him saying something about his desire to uphold justice. At the time, I thought it was just the rambling of a lunatic, but now it seems so obvious.
So the flower shop burglar is the justice killer?
It seems too much of a coincidence otherwise.
Well, then that's wonderful. You can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Excellent work, Fordham. I knew you could do it.
Objective added. Cool.
What exactly are the details regarding this justice killer?
The killings began a few months ago, and so far he's claimed 5 victims. The department wanted to keep this information out of the public eye to prevent a panic, but word has gotten out. On the bright side, it makes your involvement in the case much less suspicious.
What can you tell me about the previous victims?
4 men from Chumley: Hannibal Kirkland, Reggie Willingham, Ennis Bowditch, and Burley Cause. No known connection between any of them aside from the borough they lived in. I have copies of the police reports from each of the crime scenes. Go ahead and take them.
Thank you, Upton.
Look at all the evidence.
What are the details regarding the killer's latest victim?
As I mentioned, the victim is Percival McDonough, a member of Parliament. He was found this morning by his secretary in his office. I expect the official investigation is still underway.
So the killer managed to get into the Houses of Parliament. No easy feat.
You can say that again. It's the killer's first high-profile victim. It means he's getting bolder.
I suppose I'll have to drop by and see for myself.
Either that or Parliament's easy for him to get into.
Everything all right with you?
Oh, I'm getting by. I expect things will go back to normal once this killer is caught.
I haven't worn out my welcome here yet, have I?
No, you're still tolerable. But when was the last time you washed your hair?
You're starting to sound like Adelaide. I should get back to it.
Not a bad idea.
Right. I think I have enough information to get started. I think I'll begin with...
Odd. I wasn't expecting company.
Uh-oh.
Chief Snelling?
Uh-oh.
Upton, we need to talk. Fordham, I should have guessed I'd find you here.
Ah, Chief Snelling. What a pleasant surprise.
I'm equally pleased to see you, Fordham, although having you here does save me a bit of trouble.
Trouble?
Those are some rather interesting decorations. Would either of you care to explain how they got here?
And once again, the jig is up. I hope you can talk your way out of this one, too.
We can throw Upton up the river. Ooh. Yeah, this seems like something Miles would do. Throw himself on the grenade.
I brought them here, after I made duplicates and took them from the police department.
Nice try, Fordham, but I know for a fact that isn't true. The Ferroduplicator makes a report of every employee who uses it, as well as what was copied. A rather useful feature for instances such as these. Wouldn't you agree?
These gadgets are going to be the undoing of us all.
In any case, I did some digging and discovered some intriguing information. Upton, why have you been passing on classified police information to Mr. Fordham?
Because he's the best detective you ever had on the force, and you know it.
Is that right? Personally, I don't consider getting your partner killed the mark of a great detective. But what's done is done. Constance Upton, your employment with the New Britannia Police Department is hereby terminated.
But...
I should add that it's only because of your 25 years of dedicated service that I'm not pressing charges against you. But as for you, Fordham, I have enough evidence to place you under arrest for obstruction of justice and interfering with police investigations. Do you have anything to say in your defense before I take you in for questioning?
Ooh, this might get us out of it.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I do. I know who the Justice Killer is.
Fordham, if this is your idea of a diversion...
It's true. I found a link in the sketches of the crime scenes.
All right, let's hear it then. What do you think you found?
I'll tell you if you promise to let me take the case.
Out of the question, Fordham. This is a police matter.
And the police haven't made progress in months. Fordham figured it out in a matter of minutes. Admit it, Snelling. Fordham is your best shot at finding the killer. Are you going to let your personal differences put the people of this city in danger?
Yes.
Fine.
Oh.
Let you continue to operate as an assistant in this case, if you have actually found something of value. Now, what is this link?
He leaves a single Easter lily at each crime scene. The same type of flowers the burglar in the chum was stealing.
I see. A tenuous link, but plausible. I'll give you until tomorrow afternoon. If you haven't come up with anything, I'm throwing you in jail.
Sounds fair to me.
And don't get any clever ideas about leaving town, either.
Come now, would I do something like that?
Fordham, it seems there's no telling what you might do. I'm probably a fool for not clapping you in irons right here and now. When you have something to report, come find me in my office. Don't make me regret this.
Poor Upton.
Well, that went better than I expected.
Except you're still fired. I didn't have a chance to get him to change his mind.
We'll worry about that after you catch the killer. In the meantime, I could use a drink. I'll see you later, Fordham.
Can go celebrate your early retirement.
Well, better get to work then. The clock is ticking.
Are you going to be a little bit nicer, Bill? We'll check the newspaper here. Atwood under fire for alleged cooping scheme. More controversy has emerged after Hart Leroy's landslide victory against Herbert Atwood, as accusations of a pro-Atwood cooping scheme have emerged. Allegedly, Atwood's campaign hired men to find unsuspecting victims, ply them with alcohol, and then force them to vote multiple times in disguise in order to increase Atwood's chances of re-election. The victims were kept in a small room, referred to as a coop, and forced to change clothes several times in order to vote repeatedly. Once they served their purpose, victims were left in the back alleys around the city, dazed and confused. Despite the efforts, it was not enough to secure Atwood's victory. The information comes from the alleged leader of a cooping gang, who agreed to talk. Oh, good on him. Citizens fear mass murderer. The general mood around New Britannia is one of caution and fear, especially in Chumley. 4 victims have so far been claimed by the so-called justice killer, with no apparent motive or link between them. That's what makes it so frightening, says Chumley resident Simon Banks. You have no idea who's going to be next. It's gotten to the point where I stopped sweeping chimneys before sundown. When reached for comment, the New Britannia police offered no new information but encouraged citizens to remain vigilant and avoid answering their doors to strangers. Rumors of a nightly curfew have been swirling, but no confirmation has been given. Anyone with information regarding the identity of the killer is strongly encouraged to contact the New Britannia police force. Arrest made in tragic election night murder. Ronan Lespay, an employee of the Grips Home taxidermy shop, was murdered outside the Silent Raven pub in Chumley on election night. According to New Britannia police, the person responsible was Tom Puffin, choirmaster at St. Denis Cathedral. According to an unconfirmed source, Puffin mistook Lespay for his nephew, whom he had planned on killing, and accidentally murdered Mr. Lespay instead. He was allegedly under the influence of opium. Puffin was arrested on the charge of murder in the second degree and is set to stand trial in November. Lespay was described by his sister as full of life and an avid fan of books and travel. Although Mr. Lespay himself had apparently never left Vespuccia, contributions to pay for Mr. Lespay's funeral expenses are being accepted. Gascon spiritualist arrested for fraud. Ooh. Angela Maxwell, the leader of a spiritualist group in Gascon known as the Spectre Society, was arrested yesterday on charges of fraud after an extensive undercover operation by the New Britannia police discovered that she was exploiting her clients and robbing them of their money. Detective Lester Barnett attended several meetings under an assumed name, during which he observed Miss Maxwell's ruse. She would claim her client was cursed and then offer healing services for a fee. The clients would then pay exorbitant amounts of money over a period of time to be cured. A representative of the New Britannia police offered this warning. We urge the public to be extremely wary of anyone claiming to be able to communicate with spirits or deceased loved ones. In reality, they often prey on grief-stricken and vulnerable people. Oh, that's unfortunate, considering the fact we let her know about Bill as well. Well,
What a handsome couple, judging by the uncanny...
okay, at least Bill's polite when it comes to some of the other stuff we've looked at. Where to? Well, actually, let's look at our casebook. We have got... Investigate Percival McDonough's office at the Houses of Parliament. I could have sworn we got... there we go. Police report. Hannibal Kirkland. Age 32. Iron worker. Summary. Police found Kirkland in his home after as a foreman reported Kirkland's absence from work. Apart from the word justice written in blood, nothing unusual was found at the crime scene and no witnesses came forward. Investigation into Kirkland's personal life and habits revealed nothing of interest. Reggie, 47, cabbie for Coulson's Cabs. Missing persons report was filed by his employer. Crime scene was inspected. Nothing unusual was found other than justice. No witnesses came forward. Investigation into personal life and habits revealed nothing of interest. Bowditch, construction worker. So we've got iron worker, cabbie, construction worker. Police found Bowditch in his home after his employer contacted police. Crime scene shows signs of modus operandi of the so-called justice killer. No witnesses. Investigation and questioning of Bowditch's co-workers and former lady friend proved fruitless. 29. And then 26. So it did no real link in the ages. Lamplighter, worker from the Central Lamp Depot, Worcester. Police Douglas Parsons discovered cause in his home after a report of a gunshot was made by neighbor Ethel Williamson. So that was we sent Parsons to check it out. Parsons surveyed the scene and found the word justice written in blood, but no other leads or clues. Investigation into Cause's personal life and habits produced no further clues or leads. Whoa. And suddenly we have a lot of places to check out now. Alright guys, well, we were truthful with Adelaide. Bill was not pleased, but I guess he's going to get over it because we have found a link to Bill's murderer. And I guess we will start that investigation in the beginning of the next episode. Hope you all have enjoyed it. If you liked the episode, please leave a like down below. Subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, that'd be a big help. And we'll see you next time. Later days, everyone.